Ladies and gentlemen, I believe this is probably the first time I've ever done a story out of Honolulu. Who would have thought? Honolulu, of all places. I don't know anything about it. I guess stupid is as stupid thugs, right? And I guess that bad things can happen no matter where you're at. But not only was there one suspect that was captured in this story, but there was a second suspect. And a second suspect had been arrested in connection with the disappearance of that beautiful little girl, that 18-month-old baby by the name of Kaitana Ankog. Kaitana is 18 months old. The Honolulu Police Department identified the suspect as a 48-year-old man and arrested him for suspicion of second-degree murder just before midnight Saturday. The little girl went missing along with her father, and let me see if I can get his face up on the screen for you guys. That fool right there. That is Travis Rodriguez, who was the baby's father. And Rodriguez is 40 years old, and they went missing about 2 weeks ago. An HPD investigation found foul play was involved. And Rodriguez, who was 40 years old, was arrested earlier Saturday after being located in Ko'olina. Ko'olina, which is spelled Koolina. Hey, okay. Anyway, police arrested the 40-year-old Aya man Saturday on suspicion of second-degree murder in the case of his missing 18-month-old daughter, but would not say whether the girl, Kaitana, had been found. Officers located Travis Rodriguez at about 12:30 p.m. in the Ko'olina area and later placed him under arrest with charges pending. Honolulu police and Crime Stoppers said on Friday the girl's mother dropped Kaitana off on January the 31st to be with her dad at his Kaluani Place home in Aya. Sorry, I can't pronounce those cities. But neither the suspect nor Kaitana had been seen since then. The family filed a missing persons report Wednesday. Here is the big caveat. Can somebody put a hashtag when you date thugs, you date death? Hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. Hashtag stupid is a stupid thugs. And I want y'all to remember that thug does not have a color attached to it. That's a thug, and I'm going to point out to y'all why I say that. If I can find my sticky note. Hold on. Live by the thug, die by the thug. Hashtag stupid is the stupid thugs. Hashtag date thugs, date death. Hashtag no jail time, give them hell time. Let me get this man's face back up on the screen. This guy, Rodriguez, who served time in federal prison for felony drug and weapons convictions, is known as Travis Heflinger and Travis Heflinger. Heffelfinger, whatever. Honolulu police executed a search warrant at his home Friday night. The FBI is assisting the Honolulu Police Department in the investigation. And keep in mind, he served federal time for drug and weapons. He is a thug. Keep in mind before y'all start feeling sorry for the mom. Mom dated a thug. The toddler's grandmother, Lisa Mora, told the Honolulu Star Advertiser on Saturday that her daughter, Ashley Akong, and Kaitana, the little baby, came to live with her in March and stayed until a month ago. Mora says she had never heard of Rodriguez until then, has never met him, and is unclear about the relationship between her and the suspect. Mora posted video Saturday on her Facebook page of her little granddaughter opening presents on Christmas at Christmas time and another of her dancing. Earlier in the week, Mora made an impassioned plea on social media asking for help in locating the little girl. Mora has not been in recent contact with the Kong, who has not spoken to her family about the girl's disappearance. From what I learned, she was scared of this guy and doesn't want to say anything. Mom was in a relationship with that guy. So mom was too scared to care about her daughter, but mom wasn't too scared to be sleeping with this man, having unprotected sex with this man. How does that make any sense? You're not too scared to be in a relationship, sleep with a man, be in a voluntary relationship with a thug, but you're too scared of him, but you weren't scared to have your daughter around him. How does that work? How does that make sense? Mora asked that everyone to look at every child they come upon. Even if there's a slight resemblance, take a picture. Send it to Crime Stoppers. I want them to treat this as their own child, granddaughter, niece, or daughter. Mora said Kaitana, baby Kaitana, has 2 half-brothers, one of who lives with her and the other lives with his grandmother. No male Amber Alert was activated in the case, which would have allowed broadcasters to use the emergency alert system to air a description of the child and suspected abductor. The male Amber Alerts are activated when the police believe that the child has been abducted and is in danger, according to the state's Crime Prevention and Justice Assistance Division, and the case must meet certain criteria. So for people wondering why there was not an Amber Alert put out, because they have to meet a certain criteria. We've talked about that before. Now, according to Hawaii court records, Rodriguez and another man allegedly robbed somebody using a simulated firearm on November 2nd of 2018. A criminal complaint for first-degree robbery was filed, but the case was dismissed because a witness relocated to Las Vegas. Rodriguez also has state convictions for third-degree theft in 2004 and 2 counts of terroristic threatening in 2001. But that's who mom decided to be in a relationship with and leave her child around. Very interesting. On December 1st of 2004, he was charged in a secret federal indictment and was eventually given a lesser sentence as part of a plea agreement in which the government dropped 3 of the 5 charges related to weapons and methamphetamine distribution. Rodriguez pleaded guilty to distribution of 5 grams or more of the methamphetamine and carrying a firearm during and in relation to a drug trafficking offense. Although a judgment was entered on September 19th of 2006, his sentencing wasn't finalized until May of 2009, 3 years later, when his 5-year sentence for drug trafficking was reduced by 3 years, but a 10-year sentence remained in place for the firearm conviction. The same month, he legally changed his name to Hefelinger to Rodriguez, according to court records, because he's tried to run from the stupid crap that he was doing. Rodriguez has helped the government by testifying at the 2008 trial of Silver Jose Galindo, who was sentenced to more than 39 years in prison for drug trafficking and firearm offenses. So he's also a snitch. Now, the real definition of a snitch is somebody who is participating in the activities and telling on other people in order to either get them in trouble or get their sentence reduced. That's the real definition of a snitch. Not somebody living in your neighborhood doing messed up stuff and you just don't want it to happen and you call the police and get them up out your neighborhood. That's not a snitch. That's a snitch. You're participating in what you're telling on somebody else for doing. Do y'all want me to keep going with his criminal record? Because it's a little bit more to tell. Matter of fact, I'm going to just finish telling you. After serving prison time, Rodriguez's supervised release was revoked 3 times. In 2015, 16, and 17, causing his sentence to be extended. On February 3rd of 2017, he was sentenced to 15 months imprisonment. In 2019, Honolulu Crime Stoppers issued a bulletin on Rodriguez saying that he was wanted for violating his parole. Anyone with information on the suspected murder case is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 955-8300 or may send anonymous tips to the Honolulu Crime Stoppers.org or by way of the P3 Tips app. Now, y'all can't tell me that as long as that dude's criminal record is longer than a trip from one side of the earth all the way over to Honolulu, a dude with that long of a criminal history, you didn't do a simple background check on him? This mom clearly didn't care about her daughter. Let me give y'all the fair usage. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And thank y'all for clicking that thumbs up. Again, don't forget that it helps share the stream. So bring more people in, and y'all please click that thumbs up, okay? Let's get it.
Wahoo family is pleading for help in finding a toddler who's been missing for nearly 2 weeks. The child was last seen with her father, who is also missing. Manolo Morales has more.
Honolulu Crime Stoppers also sent out a bulletin asking the public for information. Police say the mother dropped the child off to the father on January 31st, and the two have not been seen since then. Kaitana Ankog is 18 months old, weighs 40 pounds, and has brown eyes and brown hair. Her father is 40-year-old Travis Rodriguez. He's 5'5", 127 pounds, bald with blue eyes. The child's grandmother is at her wit's end, not knowing what happened to the little girl.
Scared, lost. I just want my granddaughter returned. We just want her back. We're the only family she's known.
Morris says her daughter, Kaitana's mother, is distraught and is barely able to talk to anyone. They can only hope that the child has not been hurt and anyone with information will step up and help.
You know, I know a lot of people don't want to get involved, but this is an innocent child, and she deserves to be reunited with her family.
Rodriguez also goes by the name Travis Heffelinger. KHON2 featured him in Hawaii's Most Wanted 2 years ago for a bench warrant violation for an alleged robbery. He was arrested shortly after that. Police say Kaitana was dropped off at his home in Aiea.
We know that he frequents the Aiea, Pearl City, Kalihi, and Waipahu areas. So if you know anything about his whereabouts, if you see him, if you know where he's at, please contact us.
I'm just hoping that someone has seen him. That's a big part of the puzzle, you know.
Kim says every bit of information can be helpful, so don't hesitate to contact Crime Stoppers.
If you saw them shopping somewhere or eating somewhere, it doesn't necessarily have to be today. You just saw them previously, maybe a few days ago. Whatever the case may be, please give us that information.
Manolo Morales, KHON2 News, working for Hawaii.
New developments in the case of a local toddler who's been missing for 2 weeks. Police sources have confirmed they arrested the father of 18-month-old Kaitana Ankog for second-degree murder. This comes hours after he was taken into police custody. Jen Beniza has more.
Kaitana Ankog had been missing for 2 weeks. The hope is that she would be found alive. But those hopes were dashed when her father was arrested for murder earlier today. Police sources say 40-year-old Travis Rodriguez, also known as Travis Heffelinger, was found at a home on Pa'ala Loop in Kapolei just after 11:30 a.m. Saturday. A resident about a block away describes what she saw and heard.
There's like police officers all over here, and then had one FBI here. This whole thing all the way to that sign right there, all police officers, probably a couple more down. And then when they drove down, probably like 3 stayed, and then they all went all one time when they all left.
A few minutes later, Ka'aiali'i says she saw a helicopter hovering overhead.
The chopper was telling them to come out through the front door. We could hear it because it was right over there. So they're pretty close, and we could hear them telling them come out through the front door. Yeah, it was really scary.
Ka'aiali'i says both the HPD and the FBI were there. It's unclear why the FBI is involved in this case. Neighbors who declined to speak on camera confirmed Rodriguez slept over at this house. Sources say authorities are questioning Rodriguez. So far, it's unknown where Kaitana is. According to authorities, she was last seen on January 31st when her mother, Ashley Ancog, dropped her off to Rodriguez at his home on Kaulinahe'e Street in Aiea. Police and the K-9 unit were called to that same address Friday evening, but officials have not said why they were there or what they may have found.
I got a question, real quick question for the people who are listening right now. How many of you guys believe that the mother actually knew exactly who this dad was or her boyfriend was? How many of y'all believe that the mom already knew this dude's long criminal history? Because I do. I think the mom knew and she just didn't give a crap. But that's what I think. Let me know what y'all think in the live chat. We got 464 thumbs up. If we can get 46 more people to click that thumbs up, we'll be at 500. So please click that thumbs up.
I spoke to Cynthia Ng, a relative of Rodriguez.
I think the mom knew. I really do.
Who lives there. She declined to do an interview, but told me that she was cooperating with the police.
I don't think she was scared, though. I do not think she was scared. I don't think the mom cared. Because if this dude is running drugs and guns, then guess what also was going on? They're making a lot of money, and mom is benefiting off of that money. She's benefiting off of that lifestyle. Thank you. Thank you, Ginger. Thank you, Joshua. Y'all are right. I think the mom knew and she didn't care because the mom was collecting benefits from it. A paid lifestyle. She could do whatever she want, whenever she want, because dude is running drugs and guns, which costs a lot of money. They're making a lot of money.
I also reached out to Kaitana's mother. She responded via text saying, "I apologize, but I am not in the right state of mind to be doing an interview, but I just pray that my baby comes home to me." We will continue to follow this case and let you know the latest. Jen Boniza, KHON2 News, working for Hawaii.
And let's not put this past drugs and guns, why this little girl might be missing or might be dead. Yep. Drugs and guns, there could be a lot more going on to this than we know. Let's keep going.
18-month-old Kaitana Ancog had been missing for 2 weeks. The hope was that she would be found alive, but those hopes were dashed when her father was arrested for murder early Saturday. 40-year-old Travis Rodriguez, also known as Travis Heflinger, was arrested for the murder of his daughter, Kaitana Ancog. The pair had been missing for weeks. Rodriguez was apprehended at a home on Pa'alalup.
New developments in the case of a
18-month-old
Here, and then
slept over at this house.
I think that might be the same video, so I think I'm going to go ahead and skip that one. I think we got enough information from those videos, but let me give you guys my closing thoughts. I think there is more than what meets the eye here, and I believe that not only mom knew, but they might have done something to this kid because of what this dude's background is, what his history is. Maybe he was forced to do something because of his lifestyle, but ultimately, I still think that the onus falls on the mom. I think a thug is going to do what a thug does. A thug lion is going to do what it does, and I think that in this case, he just needs to be put down. He needs life in prison. His time on being free on earth should be over with. No regard for life, no regard for safety, no regard for that little baby's life. And I think that everybody responsible, including mom, should have to suffer. And I'm going to tell you guys, that is a beautiful little girl, and she could have grown up and became anything. So for this little baby right here, for what she had to go through, and again, let me get her name up on here. I'm going to put some respect on this baby's name. Kaitana. Kaitana, baby Kaitana. If she is indeed deceased, I think that's what they were saying. That R.I.P. young princess. R.I.P. She really deserves so much better. And like I say, to this guy, he should be done. Like, matter of fact, if they're going to do anything with him, if they ever let him out of jail, they need to put him on an experimental shuttle and launch him into outer space. And let's see how well he could survive in the elements of having no atmosphere. Again, this is DJ Just Jay. We're the AFC. We're going to continue to advocate for this baby and so many others and hope that these stories can slow down and come to a crawl and just stop. Okay? Thank you guys so much. Make sure you hit that thumbs up.